Yes, yes. Don't worry.
Now we are live.
Thank you.
Start your program.
Thanks. My dear viewers, this is Vivekanand, an author, academician, and a public intellectual. Of course, the convener of Education Pe Charcha. I welcome all my esteemed viewers, those who are viewing this spectacular program of Education Pe Charcha from across the world, and those who are viewing from within the country. I welcome all of you on this 92nd, that is 92 session on Education Pe Charcha, which is you all would appreciate because we are into 92nd session of Education Pe Charcha. It is synonymous with educating the nation. My dear viewers, see the pure coincidence. Today, Honorable Prime Minister's very grand and spectacular program of Man Ki Baat had it just concluded, it just reached the 100th session today, and the nationwide celebration of Man Ki Baat was very much there. We all were, we all were the part and parcel of that celebration. My dear viewers, likewise, as Honorable Prime Minister had kick-started his program of Man Ki Baat in October 2014, much later in 2021 June, we kick-started our session on Education Pe Charcha, and today we are into 92nd session. And maybe by the grace of divine, in the month of June, we too will reach at 100, that is centenary celebration or centenary session of Education Pe Charcha. My dear viewers, you would appreciate, and most importantly, this is becomes very important part of communication, that this Shastrartha, or that is on which we conduct this very spectacular program of Education Pe Charcha. Of course, it has the very platform was picked up, or it was made by Sri Pramodji, who of course is the founder of this Talks, and he is a most valued partner of Education Pe Charcha as well as a technical collaborator. My dear viewers, today you would appreciate, whereas we have had the great pleasure and privilege to host India's most illustrious Chief Election Commissioner ever, Sri V.S. Sampath Sir, and so many topmost IS officers like Home Secretary, Additional Home Secretary, Textile Secretary, Sri Anand Kumar Singh Ji, Chief Secretary of Gujarat, Dr. Jain Singh Ji, and so many Vice Chancellors and all topmost people. And at the same time, we do have a pleasure and a privilege today to make a very what I would like to dub it as a phenomenal announcement, in as much as just straying from that formal path. We are today, we are privileged to host a man who himself is an epitome of some sort of miracle, a wonder of wonders, Sri GIRISH MISHRA ji, who is an unschooled teacher as well as a very great poet. And see, I have described in the past, in my scores of write-ups, that Girish Babu, albeit in microcosm, is the expression or manifestation of that of Gurudev Tagore. So it is, indeed, I myself am feeling a bit excited to host such a man who had never seen, never seen the school or its all infrastructure, building, teachers, nothing as such, but nevertheless ultimately qualified himself to be a teacher who teaches the students of 10th and 10th, all syllabus, and of course 11th and 12th, that is languages, English and Hindi. So it is of course a great pleasure today, my dear viewers, and one very important thing, he has written many poetries, one on Education Pe Charcha too, and it will be a divine grace that while I invite the question answer session, it is my humble request to him that the very stanzas he penned for Education Pe Charcha, we would love to hear it from him. And this is basically, my dear viewers, we have so many questions today as usual. So without wasting any time, since I've already given you, the introduction as I know, and as you know, of course, we'll be able to wrap persona, the holistic persona of that of very august just today. personally designated as Professor Girish Mishra.
विवेकानंद जी आप अपने वॉइस को टेस्ट कर लीजिए.
My voice is not coming. Girish Babu, is my voice clear?
Yes, it is all clear to me.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, so now, my dear viewers, you have well understood that who our distinguished guest is. So, straightway, Sri Girish Mishra ji, I very much welcome you on this 92nd session of Education Pe Charcha. And the very first question goes in this way. As I said in course of the introduction, I would rather like to reiterate or duplicate my observation that before giving your introduction, the very scintillating poetry that you penned on Education Pe Charcha really would be heartening experience for all of us to hear it from you. So here goes the first question, Sri Girish Mishra ji. Sir, walking down the memory lane, could you enlighten our viewers on your deprivation and absolute impoverishment brought about by your father's death, with no livelihood left for your family? How did you experience that those days of sorrow? Please, Girish Babu, let our viewers know about it. Please, your take now. Please, sir.
As usual, first let me start with prayer. वाणी विनायको वंदे अज्ञानतम नाशको प्रगल्भता प्राप्तिकामः दीयताम निर्मलाम धियम्. I beseech thee, O Lord Ganpati, pave my way to path divine. Drive away all the hindrances. I am in obeisance of thine. O goddess of speech and learning, dwell ever on my tongue tip. Bestow on me eloquence and power of good penmanship, or a better understanding and a skill of impressive speaking. I bow to Shiv Uma conjugal, interspersed like word and meaning. Dear intellectuals, let me extend my hearty greetings to all of you on this significant occasion of Education Pe Charcha. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Sri Vivekanand Jhaji, whose generosity knows no bounds, to grant me an opportunity to share my experiences on this platform with Intellectual Hub. Despite the fact that I am just a layman, far away from the light of understanding and knowledge, I have never been to any school or institution, and I went devoid of degree and designation, everything. Still, he speaks so high of me. It is, what can I say? It is his greatness. It is his generosity. It is his selfless love for me. So that is unbeatable. Furthermore, I would like to extend my gratitude, my obeisance to Sri Pramod ji, who is a part and parcel of this program, which is in whose endeavor is praiseworthy to make it a grand success, who is toiling hard to make it a grand success, and I thank him very much from the very core of my heart. Now, question is my early days. What happened to me during early days? In fact, my birthplace is Gangtok, Sikkim. I was born in Gangtok, where my father was a teacher in Kasi Namgyal Academy. And at that time, his designation was head pandit. I do not know what head pandit is, maybe some head teacher or principal or whatever be. But he was a teacher in Kasi Namgyal Academy. Hardly a few months later, due to some health problem, he had to resign from the job. and we left Sikkim and settled in our ancestral house in at village Kharaz in the district of Darbhanga. My father got very little amount of money as pension, not little amount according to that time. He got rupees 220 per month as pension. And with that amount, we sustained our life. For a few years, everything was going on well. However, there were some problems in schools those days, in village schools. Teachers used to give very harsh corporal punishment, which I strictly hated. Inhuman punishments were given those days. And what to say? If I say the correct answer, then they told me to go and slap all the students who had not answered correctly. And if I slapped them, there was a danger that in the way I will be beaten by them. That is bitter truth. Anyway, so I did not go to school for long hours, long days. In the middle, my father forgot everything, actually. He had asked for a boon from mother. It is in Maithili, Vismriti Ker Ma Vardhan, Day Dayamai Daya Karma Hatat Sab Abhiman, Tajat Khadripuchit Patken Lahav Durlabh Gyan. O Divine Mother, give me the boon of complete forgetfulness. So getting the same, he, though he was great scholar of some say 14 languages, some say 17, 18 languages. I do not know about those. In my early days, I have seen many manuscripts in different scripts written, but I have got his poems in 5 to 6 languages. That is published also. So he forgot everything. I was directionless by that time. The whole day I spent in cornfields, uh, sugarcane fields, where sugarcane were harvested. Then there was some Ramlila anywhere, Allah Udal Naach, Salhes Naach, these things. I spent my life in such a way only. One day it happened, it was 6th of October 1973. My father suddenly told my mother, I am going to journey to a very far off place the very next Saturday. That day was Saturday of it. I am going to a very far off place. My mother worried, where are you going? No, that is very far off. He did not understand. Then 1 or 2 days later, she gave him a new dhoti to wear. And he said, no, give me dhoti on Saturday, the coming Saturday, because I have to go to a very important journey. And many people, many lok, in Maithili he told, हम बहुत दूर के यात्रा करै छी, रास्ता में हमरा बहुत लोक भेटत, तो हमरा शनि दिन देव नवका धोती. Give me that new dhoti on the coming Saturday when I will be on my great journey. Where will you go on the great journey? Please tell me clearly. Then he deciphered everything. He told my final abode is supreme abode, Manidweep. I am going to Manidweep and I will meet with several astral planes. That is the thing I told you, Hamra bahut log better. Then what happened? The very next Saturday, he was all right. He did all his work as usual. At night, he had his supper. We all had his supper. Only my mother had not taken supper by that time. So after having his supper, he sat in the lotus posture. I am eyewitness of that, and started counting his beads. Meanwhile, suddenly his counting of beads stopped, and that day my mother had started crying also. She was sobbing, and my father was smiling. Then all of a sudden he stopped counting beads. I was in suspicion. I called my mother. She immediately rushed towards the spot. And that time he seemed to be in deep meditation, I think samadhi like. He was very big yogi, as revealed from his books. So great a yogi. Then an elderly woman came and gave a slight jerk on his lips and mouth. Bhagwa hamra chinei chi. Do you recognize me? In order to make him, bring him to senses. At this question, he suddenly opened his mouth and started laughing vigorously, very freely. Mane, it can be said a giggly laughter. He started, and after the laughter, he just keep quiet and lay down. Then we understood that he is no more. Anyway, that happened. Then after his passing away, his salvation, the pension stopped coming because we informed that he is no more now. On being inquired, they wrote in paper, sent me that message, regret there is no family pension scheme in our government. Those days, it was not under India. Sikkim was different. It was a foreign land for India. So pension stopped. There was no source of income. We ran into extreme poverty, hardship. Then I was by that time some 14 or 15 years. This way only, 14 years. So someone in the village, an elderly person told me, go to Banaras. That is the abode of Annapurna, where no one starves. And I went there with a boy who was some 3 to 4 years senior to me in age. He was not of my village, of some other village. I went with him, and there, what can I say? In the words of the great monist Adi Shankaracharya, Kartal Bhiksha Tagutal Vasam. That was the position. And by that time, after a few months, my body turned to be a skeleton like. That was the position. Then a turning point came in my life when a gentleman, while I was once one day bathing in the Ganges, a gentleman was bathing also. And he asked me, पंडित जी क्या आप बाजुरिया के छात्र हैं? Are you a student of Bajuria school? I told him no. Then after coming out of the Ganges, he asked me a few things. I had a short conversation with him, and he was so impressed with my talkings that he immediately took me home. There he fed me, and after a few days, he appointed me as a tutor of his Valli's son. I would like to reveal that gentleman's name. He was Mr. Gaya Prasad Singh, and he was librarian at the Institute of Medical Sciences in BHU. So there, I often frequently visited his house in course of teaching the boy, or sometimes just for talking. Sometimes he paid me also. He gave me some money also, but that was not sufficient for me. There only I learned the art of typewriting. Once it happened so, a thesis was to be typed. It was from some research scholar from BHU. And the topic was mind-body relationship. I found maybe many errors in the research paper. And I pointed them out to Mr. GP Singh. But yeah, there are many errors. He scolded me also, just a mild scold. How dare you say there are errors? Do you know these things? I told, yes. Can you correct it? Yes. Not only I corrected, but I added a few things of my own. And of course, I quoted this slok of Gita. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya param manah manasastu para buddhe yo buddhe partastusa. Sense organs are beyond physical body. Mind is beyond sense organs. Intellect is beyond mind. You are the spirit that is far beyond mind, body, intellect, and all the sense organs. Thus, I added many things there. He was quite astonished. Anyway, to get rid of this poverty, ultimately what he did, he took me to his native village, where he had got a temple built. It was Devi temple, and he engaged me there as a priest. पंडित जी यही रहिए, यहीं पर पूजा कीजिए आप. So there in the Devi temple, I was often engrossed, so much engrossed in the thought in communion to her, that I forgot everything. There were two students there. One, I still remember their names, Syam Prakash Singh and Kurinder Pal Singh. They were students of perhaps class 10 those times. Whatever they did in mathematics, sometimes I told them, no, this is wrong. They were astonished. How do you know this is wrong? How can you say this is wrong? Can you do it? Yes, I can try. Then those days there was trigonometry. Jya, Pujya. I still remember those terms. Jya Barg, Dhan Pujya Barg, Barabar Ek. So I learned these things with them. And
Great.
I added.
Yes, thanks a lot, because indeed, we just wanted to know how you began your life, and we have come to this stage in your temple. My dear viewers, before we go, we switch over to the second question. It becomes very incumbent on my part. The way I have understood, the way I have dissected the personality of our esteemed guest today, he indeed has the blessings of Mother Divine. And the very saga of great immortal Kalidasa readily comes to my mind. The way he fell at the divine feet when he was turned out of his home by his wife Nirottama. And because of the blessings of Mother Divine, Kalidasa went on to become the greatest scholar of millennium. When it comes to designating, someone as the greatest scholar of millennium, it was Kalidasa. Just like Gurudev Tagore, who is being designated as the greatest poet of millennium. Likewise, our guest today, that was the my primary, that was the primary reason, or you can say the very pivotal trigger behind my inviting the esteemed guest, because he indeed has the divine blessings. All the erudition that he epitomizes has been transferred to him by Mother Goddess, living testimony of Kalidasa, or albeit in macrocosm, living testimony of Gurudev Tagore, albeit in macrocosm. Thanks a lot. Coming to the next question, sir. And my request is that please shorten it, because we have so many questions, we have to go fast. It is a program. Please understand that.
Yes, I will tell you in brief only.
Now come to the next question, please. How would you feel when you, and quickly, just because so many questions, there should be a quick, communication, a quick interaction. How could you feel when you would see the children of your age going to their schools while you stood deprived from the same? What was your feeling? How would you feel then? Did you feel like cursing your father? Did you feel some sort of annoyance? Did you develop some sort of annoyance, even not anathema for your father because of the deprivation that you suffered? Please, your take.
Those days, actually, I was so innocent that there was no room for accusation to anyone. And whenever I saw the other children of my age going to school, I just watched them listlessly. I had no books, no copies, nothing else, no one to guide even.
The question comes readily to my mind because our viewers would like to know, Girish Babu, our viewers would like to know that how come you become, you eventually evolved yourself as a teacher who could teach all science subjects. I know maths, physics, biology, chemistry at 10th standard, and then Hindi, English at 11th, 12th standard. How it happened? Please let our viewers know.
Actually, that is beyond explanation. Whatever, very truly speaking, whatever I saw, it seemed to me that I already know these things. And with a very little or almost no effort, everything came to me. When I was merely a child and I was in Banaras, I heard the people reciting mantras, Sanskrit verses, and not known how many thousands of verses I could remember. Many thousands. The whole Gita, Ramcharitmanas, most part of Ramcharitmanas, Durga Saptati, then most parts of Devi Bhagavad, then Sukla Yajurved, many more things I still remember.
Can you, Girish Babu, can you please cite few quotes of Bhagavad Gita, most important stanzas of Bhagavad Gita, please? One or two quotes, please, of Bhagavad Gita.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Say that त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप. Many God, वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च.
But it's okay. It's great, Girishji. Of course, it becomes comprehensible to our minds that you stayed in Banaras and you could see the Pandits, the scholars there reciting all these mantras. So, by virtue of listening to those mantras and because of the sharpness of your intellect, you could imbibe all those. But how how did you manage to pick up your communication skills in English? Because the way you have been penning stanzas in English, that has indeed, that came to me from blue. So where from you develop the linguistic skills, especially the anglicized skills, please?
It cannot be explained. Where from it all came, I myself do not know. But whenever I started penning any write-up, it became very useful. It became magnum opus. And Gaya Prasad Singh was eyewitness of such incidents.
Girish Babu, let our viewers know, my dear viewers, Girish Babu barely couple of days ago, he had penned on education pe charcha, his thoughts on education pe charcha in a very scintillating, scintillating form of stanzas. So I would like Girish Babu to recite them, the stanzas he's penned, so that you can know
Okay.
his depth. Please.
Okay. I have been watching Education Pe Charcha. It gives me immense pleasure to hear different scholars in myriad fields of education and learning. So I was greatly impressed, and which provoked me to write a poem. Actually, whenever I write a poem, this means I am inspired by something or some ideas come to my mind. So I wrote Education Pe Charcha. First, I thank you. I thank you, Vivek, the author, for your crucial endeavor. I thank you, Vivek, the author, for your crucial endeavor. Convening Education Pe Charcha indicates your strong fervor. Convening Education Pe Charcha indicates your strong fervor in order to spread the light of education everywhere. You have hosted numerous scholars so far with utmost care. Your ever widening horizon of a better perspective has always been quite practical, being more and more active with a view to make society open-minded, accepting. Your selfless efforts are priceless. They are worthwhile praising. With a view to make society open-minded, accepting. Your selfless efforts are priceless. They are worthwhile praising. Experiences of intellectuals from myriad fields of learning help us develop critical skills and art of problem solving. We can solve many problems of life by sharing the experiences of great scholars in myriad fields of learning and skills. It helps us breed creativity and the skill of innovation. What a significant idea of building our nation. It helps us breed creativity and the skill of innovation. What a significant idea of building our nation. It sharpens our critical skills. Now I am going to describe its significance. It sharpens our critical skills, gives us mental agility, problem solving, logical thinking, explores hidden personality. What it does, it sharpens our critical skills, gives us mental agility, problem solving, logical thinking, thinking something logically, explores hidden personality. We can explore our hidden personality through the discourses held in the program. Penning and oral discourses on your metaphysical visions indicates that you have got the sacred gifts of intuition. Thus, though you have been a scholar of commerce, trade and commerce, you were involved. You were supposed to be there in CA profession. Yet you have devoted yourself to the cause of education. That is a great devotion, quite admirable. Penning and oral discourses on your metaphysical visions indicates that you have got the sacred gifts of intuition. You have got the great gift of intuition. Because why intuition? Because you are not supposed, as per your profession and learning skill, you are not supposed to say something about the great monist Adi Shankar or Buddha or any such people. Perusing the Sanatana scriptures, Vedas, Upanishads, Gita, quite often you quote from there in your write-ups. Perusing the Sanatana scriptures, you make topics of debate. This reveals your righteous nature. Your ideals are really great.
Thank,
Perusing the Sanatana scriptures, Vedas, Upanishads, many times I saw discourses, Yam Nachiketa conversation once you wrote. I was very much impressed to see it. And I wrote a poem on it also about Yam Nachiketa discourses from Upanishad.
great.
By using the Sanatana scriptures, you make topics of debate. This reveals your righteous nature. Your ideals are really great. It will promote social changes, enlighten the viewer's mind. It will promote social changes, enlighten the viewer's mind. It will enhance the welfare, enrich morals of mankind. It will enhance the welfare, enrich morals of mankind. This is the significance.
Great, sir.
Go on convening as ever. Intellectuals will vindicate them. Endorsement will shower on you to widespread your name and fame.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, my dear viewers. It is so wonderfully painted. It's not because of the showering of praise upon me. I don't say, and I don't I don't appreciate it from that standpoint. But the sort of word, the stock of vocabulary, and so very befitting stock of vocabulary used that only comes from the poetic. That's only the product of a poetic vision. That makes the poem very, very captivating. Thanks a lot. Since we have so many questions, sir, I am just interrupting you. We are coming to the next question. Very simple. You teach mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology at ease for both CBSE and ICSE students. Which of these subjects you feel at a greater ease while teaching your students?
Of course, mathematics.
So again, it is a big riddle for me. That how did you learn mathematics, because you claim never to have gone to the school, barring your your childhood days of class 1 or 2. So where from you picked up that mathematical skills so as to enable you to teach the students of 10th, 9th and 10th, that is physics, maths? It is not a matter of joke, because you claim never to have learned from anyone. Then where are those skills you imbibe? That is a miracle. Please explain to us. Explain to our viewers.
Actually, when I first time came to Kolkata, my first tuition was in an Anglo-Indian community. It was, I do not remember from which school, but he was from Anglo-Indian community, and I started teaching him. So I started teaching him, in fact, physics, chemistry, and math. And whatever I saw, everything seemed that as if I know everything beforehand. No problem rose. Once it happened so that he had English language exam, and I was teaching him physics, chemistry, and maths. He told me, nothing to be taught today, sir, because the very next day is my English language exam. So I told him, yes, you can have English language class with me. He replied, how can you teach us English? We are the Anglo-Indians. Yes, of course. No, it cannot be. Then I told him, ask me 100 questions. I will not fail answering anyone. And if I ask you 100 questions, you won't be able to answer a single. Then he started asking me questions from every nook and corner of the book. I did not fail. Not known where from all these came to me. I composed many poems in Sanskrit in those days. Then in Maithili, Hindi. Once I composed a poem in Bengali. What happened? A professor from Lucknow requested me to write something in English on his book. That book is Gitananta Rasam. I wrote 11 stanzas on the book. I read the book. It is in 5 volumes, big volumes, come to us volumes. I wrote the theme in 11 stanzas. Then he phoned me and told me in Maithili only, "Bhauwa, bad neek lagal." Ekta Bangla mein likhu na. I write one in Bengali also. I told, how can I write in Bengali? I do not know Bengali at all. He told, it is my firm belief that if you once hold a pen in your hand and a paper before you, nothing will be impossible. You can do. Now I hesitated much. Then taking the name of Ganpati and Goddess Saraswati, I wrote the poem. Wait, let me have water. Throat is choking. I wrote a poem in Bengali, although the script was not Bengali. Language was Bengali. Script was my own only. He got my English poem published in his book, but by the time I wrote Bengali, it was already bound. It could not be published. So things come to me. How it all comes to me, I do not know myself even.
Great. My dear viewers, it becomes very incumbent on the part to make an announcement here. There is a particular doctrine belief in Hinduism that is called, the term is, or terminology is referred to as Prarabdha. Here our august guest, still now the conversation we have had, it would have become obvious to each one of our viewers that our august guest is carrying that sort of Prarabdha. His father was a great saint, as we heard from him. And even, one of the very distinguished guests on Educational Charcha had already referred to Pandit Sivnath Babu as one of the greatest scholars of Mithila. So he happens to be his elder son. So obviously there has been some sort of, transference, or you can say some bequeathing of that sort of legacy, no denying the fact. But even more important than that is the divine blessings. As we heard, we read in books of that of Kalidasa, the transformation of an ignorant, illiterate Kalidasa into a scholar of scholars. And likewise, albeit in microcosm, we do have our august guest, who is a living testimony of how divine miracle happens in this world too, even in contemporary times. Never been to school, never had any formal education, but he teaches the students of 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th, all physics, mathematics, and that too, he had never learned mathematics anywhere. Isn't it a miracle? It is indeed a great miracle, which is self-manifest in our very august guest erudition that we are privileged to showcase on our Education Pe Charcha. So he is a living exemplification or testimony of the same. Thanks a lot, sir. Coming to the next question, we do have the time limitation. That is that you have to appreciate. Now, since you have already given answer to it, my question becomes redundant. You say that you yourself do not know this mystery, or it is mystic to you also, as to how all the words keep on flowing, over your lips, and how you keep on, your your pen keeps on writing automatically or spontaneously, you yourself do not understand, or you yourself are dismayed. So there is, we can only say, or we can only conclude that all this happens because of divine blessings. Otherwise, it would never have been possible. Because if we speak, my dear viewers, being a well-recognized author, and I'm an author who writes every day, it's not that I'm, I do evince a lot of pride in saying that, but it's not, there is not even the remotest trace of arrogance in it. But still, I have worked a lot. It has been a tapasya on my part. But when we talk about our august guest, I do have had a lot of formal education, have seen school, colleges, and all professional things. But see, the august guest never had any such opportunity, but nonetheless, he is a living witness, a living, testimony of divine miracles even happening in contemporary times. Great, sir. Coming to the next very, very important point, you have already said how your students now, our viewers would like to know quickly. Please tell us that, in which schools you taught. You are teaching in some school, and even in the
Yes,
past you taught in some school. Tell us
yes,
the
yes.
record.
For a long time, while coming to Kolkata, I gave private tuitions only. Then after I joined a school, Calcutta Public School. Its branch is there in Ranchi also.
Hmm.
Calcutta Public School. It is affiliated to CBSE, and here no, Ranchi is CBSE and here ICSE. Then after again I started giving private tuitions only because I could not bear the bondage to do work under some pressure. My heart did not allow me. So I started giving private tuitions only, and that was the source of my earning. And it is still the source of my earning only. Now my son also earns,
No,
so
but
no problem.
currently you are engaged, in some school now, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. There is. They requested me, and I accepted their request. And currently, I am in a school. It is called Dimension Public School. Like it is CBSE board. It follows CBSE board. So there, I devote some time with them.
Great.
Though my
Now,
heart,
Girish Babu, how your students had fared in examinations. I mean to say that their overall performance in board exams, which might have given you satisfaction as a teacher. Your take on
hmm,
this, please.
students differ in their talents. It is not that all are of the same type or all got 99% or 98% only. However, there were some students who have got up to 97, 98% marks in average
In CBSE or ICSE?
in ICSE.
And in CBSE, what has been the
It was
average marks secured by your students?
average, I can say 85 to 87% marks in
Okay.
CBSE.
And you teach maths, which subjects you teach your students?
It is up to them for whatever subject they may engage me. I teach them sometimes English also, Hindi also, whatever required.
No, but
Sometimes
your
social
science subject,
studies. I also teach them social studies,
no, it's
sometimes
okay.
history, geography,
Your
whatever
primary subject,
required.
but your primary
Mainly I
subject,
teach,
your thrust has been on science subject, no? Your
yes,
thrust,
up to class 10.
that is
And
science,
in the
math,
classes 11 and 12, I teach English and Hindi.
okay. And maths, physics, you teach at 10th level.
Yes, up to 10 level.
Maths, physics, chemistry, all that.
Yeah. Then after I did not strive much towards learning. I was
Okay.
contented to get whatever I got from tuition. That was all.
Great, great. Coming to the next question, because we have only 1 or 2 questions left. Time is running out fast. Girish Babu, I have given you a designation. The designation, my dear viewers, after coming in touch with him, after some regular interaction, I found that here is a man with a professorial skills. Despite not
How can I compare myself to a professor? I'm just a layman, very far from the light of knowledge.
No, I have understood your point. You don't possess degrees, that is beside the point. Your erudition that I have dissected, that I have deciphered at my own end. I'm talking about that. So, the description that we have given is this: an unschooled teacher and a poet. How do you think you justify this description about your personality given to you by me? And that is the reason behind hosting you on Education Pe Charcha. An unschooled teacher and a poet. How do you justify this designation or this description?
That is the generosity of your heart, and it can be said that your virtuosity that speaks so high of me. Such persons are rare nowadays.
Great,
Your
great, sir.
selfless love, I am highly indebted to your selfless love, sir.
No, it's nothing of the sort. It is your talent. My dear viewers, I've also been selfless in terms of showcasing a talent. In showcasing Girish Babu as our esteemed guest today, my own self-interest was there. That I'm showcasing, a talent. Because only a jeweler has the proper discerning pair of eyes to dissect or to ascertain the overall quality of jewelry. As simple as that. Now, Girish Babu, last question coming to you, sir. That your message for all those who fail to attain the formal education due to economic impoverishment or any other reason still can do some form of wonders in life the way you have done. So what is your message to such class of people who fail to attain any formal education and hopeless? So your message to them.
Actually, they should overcome their hopelessness. Knowledge is such a thing that cannot be imparted. It is all in our conscience only. We need to raise it just. In order to raise our spirit, we should have a sense of endeavor in ourselves. And then knowledge is not anything to be given, to be imparted to somewhere. You cannot give anyone knowledge. Knowledge is already within the confines.
Great.
It can be evolved.
My dear viewers, what Girish Babu has just now said, readily Swami Vivekananda's definition of education has come to my mind. Swami Vivekananda says, education is the manifestation of, manifestation of knowledge already within you. That is, it is a manifestation of the self. So Girish Babu says, I am absolutely in agreement with it. Without going through books, without learning from any institution as such, today he has become rich in education. In as much as he is giving the private tuitions to scores of students. I am sure, Girish Babu, you must have taught at least 5,000 to 10,000 students in your life, isn't it?
Yes. So far, I have taught so many. I have been teaching for the past 40 years.
Oh my God. So around 25,000 you must have taught. 20 to 25,000 students. Great, great achievement, sir. My dear viewers, so the purpose of showcasing Sri Girish Mishra today was just to show to the fellow compatriots or citizens of this country that, a man without having any formal education has been doing wonders in the great city of joy that is Kolkata. Kolkata has been a citadel of intellectuals from which I also am fortunate to trace my descent, because I am born and brought up in Calcutta. I have attained all my formal education from Kolkata, and I bow to the great city of joy. Today, whatever I am, it is all owing to Kolkata. Likewise, Girish Babu too has attained all such a perfection that is self-manifest in course of an intellectual interaction with me, that he also owes an irredeemable debt to that of the city of joy. And that was the reason behind my showcasing a wonder of wonders, indeed an epitome of miracle, Sri Girish Mishra ji, for today's 92nd session of Education Pe Charcha. My dear viewers, very important announcement to make. On next Saturday, that is 6th of May 2023, we have a very, very brilliant scholar, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekananda University, that is His Holiness Swami Atma Priyanandaji Maharaj, to speak on great Swami Vivekananda. My dear viewers, you would appreciate, we have had in the past the privilege of showcasing the great humanist, as what our august guest says, great Adi Shankaracharya. And to speak on great Adi Shankaracharya, we have had the privilege to invite a very stalwart lawyer of that of Supreme Court, Sri P.N. Mishra ji. Likewise, in course of continuation of the series of inviting the great speakers to speak on the greatest minds of this nation, after Shankara, it comes Swami Vivekananda. And to speak on Swami Vivekananda, we are having such a divine privilege to invite one of the greatest speakers in the world, that is on Swami Vivekananda. Swami My dear viewers, this is a time for Pramod ji to sum up our interaction in Hindi. Pramod ji, please. Pramod ji.
जी नमस्कार.
We are not seeing you. You are not visible. Make yourself visible, please.
हाँ,
yes.
नमस्कार. आदरणीय श्री गिरीश जी और आदरणीय श्री विवेकानंद जी को आज के इस 92 एपिसोड के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई और मेरी हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. आज के इस एपिसोड में जो बातें आदरणीय श्री गिरीश जी ने कही, यह भारतीय सनातन संस्कृति के द्वारा अनुभूत और प्राकट्य एक संस्थागत और वैयक्तिक उत्थान का कई हजार वर्षों की एक परंपरा रही, और अब उसी परंपरा के संवाहक के रूप में आदरणीय श्री गिरीश बाबू ने उन सभी पठनीयता को अपने अनुभूति और अपने आध्यात्मिक चेतना से विद्यार्थियों तक पहुंचाया. आपने अपने जीवन के एक एक क्षण को अध्यात्म के साथ जिया और उसके चैतन्यता को सामाजिक सरोकार के लिए शैक्षणिक व्यवस्था में आहूत किया. आज के इस एपिसोड में जितनी ज्यादा शिक्षा दर्शकों को, इसमें शामिल होने वाले हमारे और आपके जैसे लोगों को प्राप्त हुई है, यह स्मरणीय है. और हम सभी इस अपेक्षा के साथ इस एपिसोड को ध्यान में रखें. किसी भी व्यक्तित्व का ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन जिस दिशा में निर्धारित होता है उस दिशा में चली जाती और उसको हाथ पकड़कर ले जाने वाला एक अप्रत्यक्ष, अदृश्य किंतु बहुत ही ताकतवर शक्ति होती है. मैं ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि श्री गिरीश बाबू की यह अंतः मन में प्रेरित होने वाली ऊर्जा से इस समाज का, इस व्यवस्था का और विवेकानंद जी जैसे विद्वान महापुरुषों के साथ हम लोग जैसे सामान्य, अति सामान्य व्यक्तित्व का भी कल्याण हो। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। आज
Thanks
के
a lot.
इस 92वें एपिसोड के लिए आप सभी को पुनः हृदय से एक बार प्रणाम करता हूँ। ईश्वर आपके सारस्वत को इसी तरह संवर्धित करते रहे। धन्यवाद।
Thanks a lot, Pramodji. Thanks a lot. I am really, my head bows down, to before Sri Girish Mishra ji, a man who never had the opportunity of visiting visiting schools and colleges, but despite the deficiencies that he suffered in his childhood and boyhood days, he just sucked off all those deficiencies and managed to rise as a teacher worth 1,000 salutations. From this august platform of Education Pe Charcha, I respectfully salute to Sri Girish Mishra ji that despite
Thank you, sir.
all handicaps and all sort of deficiencies that he encountered throughout a very roller coaster ride in his life, he had managed to reach this particular height where thousands of students have benefited from his erudition. And most importantly, he remains an enigma still. When I thought of unraveling his personality, my dear viewers, very humbly speaking, I failed in my endeavor to do so because he himself is unable to explain the inexplicable degree and dimension of the skills that he has managed to inculcate. Where from those skills came, he doesn't know. He has no answer to that question. That is why I still call him an enigma, because he is nothing but an epitome of divine miracle, a living testimony of prarabdha, re-expressing or defining a persona in a new birth. So with all these kind words, we all from Education have been hugely benefited out of the knowledge and erudition that Sri Girish Babu has showcased today, with just another implication or reiteration of an announcement pertaining to our next guest, that is His Holiness Swami Atmapriyanand Maharaj, the Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekananda University, is our very, very valued and esteemed guest in our next show on next Saturday. Our show usually takes place on Saturday. Today it was an exception because our valued partner Prabodhji had gone outside of Dhanbad and he returned yesterday. That is why instead of Saturday, we are holding or convening our show today on Sunday. But again on next Saturday, on 6th of May, we'll be back at the same time with another very, very esteemed guest, that His Holiness Swami Atmapriyanand Maharaj from Belur. He is the Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekananda University, to discuss with me, to interact with me on the various aspects and dimensions of the persona of Swami Vivekananda. That is the collective whom great Rishi Aurobindo has described as the collective consciousness of Bharat Varsha. So kindly remain tuned on next Saturday to hear about Swami Vivekananda. And with these words, I once again bow to our esteemed guest, Sri Babu. I express my deepest thanks to Sri Pramodji and all my esteemed viewers for being, for their patronage and for, there being an inextricable, source of inspiration, inextinguishable source of inspiration and motivation for all of us on this platform of Education Pe Charcha. With this, I return you all to the studio. Thanks to all of you.
Okay.